It's not about silk. It's not about human glory. It's about him, and everybody needs him. It's about his love.
Gowns by artist and designer Aleona Isakova have been seen on runways all over the world. She creates them with one goal in mind: to glorify God.
If you have God inside your heart, you just can receive from him and create in freedom. But live without God and without Jesus, it is darkness. And I remember that time.
Aleona grew up in Latvia under communist control, where atheism was the only acceptable belief. She knew nothing of Christianity until she was 12 and read a library book that mentioned the Bible.
I came to the lady in the library and asked, "Do you have Bible?" And she was shocked. She told me, "We don't have such books in the library."
Then, the librarian informed Aleona's father, a military officer, about her question.
I never saw him so angry. He told that never ever say Bible or Jesus. It's the first time I hear about Jesus.
More than 10 years would pass before Aleona learned anything more about Jesus. She became a prolific artist, holding her first exhibition at just 14. But the pressure to please an audience ate away at her.
Terrible fear came to my heart because I feel if I do something wrong, people don't love me. A lot of artists, a lot of famous fashion designers suicide or use drugs because this kind of fear and emptiness inside, it is so terrible. It's hell on the earth.
By her 20s, Aleona was married and building a name for herself in fashion. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Christianity was no longer suppressed the way it had been during Aleona's youth. And in 1991, she met American missionaries who told her about Jesus.
I always try to understand the meaning of life, but without Jesus. And when I opened my heart for Jesus, it was like explosion, light, what I'm looking for all my life.
Believing that the fashion world and her new faith were not compatible, she closed her shop. But God had plans. And around that time, Aleona said he gave her a vision of gowns depicting the Bible and life of Jesus.
I saw such a beautiful collection, represents creation, how Jesus was born, crucifixion and resurrection. And I saw dresses. I truly realized it's a calling from heaven.
In Russia in the early 90s, even food was hard to come by, let alone fine fabrics. But trusting God to provide a way for combining faith and fashion, she and a Christian friend started their own company, Favor Fashion House.
We borrow $300 in the bank and we start company because God told us and God used it, and we have clients and we share with all clients about Jesus.
Aleona still dreamed of creating the biblical collection, but funds for such an ambitious project were out of reach. Then she received an unexpected message from a Swiss businessman she'd met at a fashion show.
Every morning, God talking to me about you. We must to have a meeting.
He decided to fund her collection, and over the next 4 years, Aleona and her team created over 50 gowns using only the best fabrics and materials.
Our collection is for His glory, the best of the best. And I believe if Christians create more perfect stuff for His glory, we can catch more secular people.
She's shown the collection at events all over the world and in numerous media appearances. More importantly, she no longer creates out of fear to please an audience as she once did. Instead, Aleona creates as an act of worship.
You know, I don't care what people telling about my art. It's just between me and Him. And I look in heaven and God look at me and smiling, and He loves that stuff and I'm happy. It's freedom. It's real freedom to know Him.
In 2011, Aleona and her husband Sergey moved to the US, where she mentors young designers and continues to create new works.
And I bring that collection for America because I believe keep America a Christian country, that it's important for all world. And I believe it could inspire new generation of artists and designers, fashion designers, to create for God the best of the best.
More than anything, Aleona is grateful for the relationship with Jesus that gave her life and her art an eternal purpose.
Jesus, he's my best friend. And because I'm an artist, I can see his beauty everywhere.